Welcome back. You're still tuned in to News and Views. It's time for a hashtag Africa Focus feature. This is a part of the show where we look at some of the biggest and most pressing stories on the African continent. And this time around, we'll be heading to Eastern DRC, where that part of the country still remains on edge. The Congolese government forces have retaken control of Uvira following the withdrawal of M23 armed group. Authorities are calling it a restoration of state control, but reports of sporadic gunfire, mass displacement, and deep mistrust continue to raise questions about how stable this moment really is. And so help us unpack what's happening on the ground and what comes next as we head into the new year for the DRC. We're joined by Didier, Kabwe, a very, very good friend of the show. He's also a member of the Congolese Solidarity Campaign and co-founder of Kairos-DRC, and is joining us from the capital, Kinshasa. Brother Didier, welcome to News and Views. Always a pleasure having you on air.
Good morning, Makwidiri, and to your viewers.
There we go. I think we'll jump right into it with a look at the ground reality and what's really happening on the ground. Congolese forces have announced that they've officially re-entered the city of Uvira after the M23 forces withdrew. From your perspective, your networks on the ground, how secure is the city in reality, and are civilians feeling safe enough to resume daily life from what Uvira used to be under M23 control?
Honestly, we can say that the situation is not really really stable, and we can see on the ground, yes, people have started their daily living life, but there's still some fears in the sense that according to what we are hearing on the ground, some places outside Uvira, there are still rebels group here and there. So generally, the situation is not yet stable.
And this is not the first time, we're seeing an M23 withdrawal or an announcement that the M23 has withdrawn from, any part of the Eastern DRC. Could this be considered a tactical pullback of some sort, which can ultimately be followed by renewed offensives? Or do we see it and analyze it as a genuine retreat or a strategic repositioning of some sort? What's your analysis on it?
As you said, this is not the same time that they announced their withdrawal from Uvira. You remember in December they did the same. But at that time, the government in Kinshasa was skeptical about their withdrawal. But for this time, we had the announcement from the government that Uvira is totally under National Army control and Wazalendo. So that is the sign that M23 are not there. So the question probably will be: is they are willing to withdraw from Uvira? So that is another question. But definitely for this time, Uvira is totally under the hand of Wazalendo and National Army.
And what's interesting for me, especially looking at the dynamics of the conflict in the DRC, is how it's not existing in isolation. How much of what's unfolding currently in Uvira and other parts of Eastern DRC is being shaped by regional actors at this current moment, particularly Rwanda and the broader Great Lakes kind of geopolitics and what's happening in that part of Africa?
Yes, you remember that we have many peace agreements starting from the region to to the international level. And you remember also that we have two processes, Doha process and the Washington process. So all two processes are involved in the way that we see things on ground. If M23 and Rwanda withdrew from Uvira, it is not by their willingness, as we can say. They've been forced to leave Uvira. So this is the action of the process of Washington. So for now, we are hearing here and there that there is this process could be start from Angola, and because we see the president was in Angola to activate this national dialogue. Is that the reason why M23 decided also to withdraw from Uvira? That can be also an hypothesis to say that maybe they are seeing some sort of signal of things going smoothly good from what is happening in Angola. So we are in the apparently there is a process of that national dialogue. Maybe that could be the solution to end the war in Eastern DRC. Yes.
Let's talk about some of the areas and regions that the M23 rebel group is still reportedly holding, you know, the likes of Goma, the likes of Bukavu, and where they are also continuing to advance. Are there any conversations around the state of some of those regions and the presence of the M23, whether or not they'll be staying in those regions or they'll be withdrawing from those also?
Yes, according to the government, the main problem is Rwanda. If Rwanda respects the Washington agreement, automatically M23 will not be a problem. This is the view of the national government. But according to the rebel groups, it is not about Rwanda. They are not satisfied about the living condition of Congolese. So that's why they decided to take to go to rebellion. So you can see that the situation is not really is very complex. So at the same time, there are two issues that need to be solved: the issue of Rwanda and DRC, and the issue of M23 with the national government. So is the situation of Rwanda and the DRC that can solve the conflict, or we need to see on going with all the problems at the same time? So this is the question that the Doha process is also important as the Doha.
All right, we seem to be having some connection
the Washington process. So two processes can be.
All right, Didier, I think we're going to leave there for now. Yes, we can hear you, and unfortunately we have run out of time. But thank you so much for joining us and giving us insights on this latest development on the DRC. As we head into the new year, I think we're going to be having these conversations a lot. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There we go. That is Didier Kabwe coming to us live from Kinshasa out in the DRC and giving us insights on the latest developments, and the latest one being the M23 rebels, which are, at this point, we continue to say they are reportedly or allegedly being backed by Rwanda. Do we still say that? Because I think it's a known fact now. It's everyone knows. But they have essentially withdrew from the city of Uvira, and it feels like it's a step towards lasting peace in the DRC at this point. But this is not the first time that the M23 have withdrawn from the major cities that they've captured, and one will just have to wait and see whether or not this is a tactical kind of withdrawal. Will we be seeing advances from the M23 after some time? But at this current moment, the city of Uvira, as you heard there from Didier, is slowly getting back to normal. People are living, people are going about their businesses, schools are open, children are going to school, businesses are being opened, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this is a start of peace, long-lasting peace in Eastern DRC, because the continent needs a DRC that works. They are very, very rich when it comes to minerals, natural resources, and you can only imagine if the DRC works and become a functional state, the impact that will have not only on the people of DRC, but on the rest of the continent. This has been #News and Views Africa Focus feature. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at some of the concerning issues right here at home. One being the issue of housing and housing affordability, especially in Cape Town. More on that after this.